Please be ready for a dictation of a passage. 5 seconds. Start. My dear sir, I see there is to be a meeting at the town hall on Friday evening in the coming month. I also see there is to be a lecture followed by a discussion is to be delivered upon the subject of the economic position of the country. I believe there will be a great many people making their way to the hall that evening, and I know there will be a keen discussion. While thanking you for the invitation, I am sorry that I shall not be there until after the meeting has started, for there is very little chance of getting on a motor bus or any other vehicle due to the proposed strike on that day. I wish there were some other way of reaching the hall in order to enable me to be there sooner than later. If there is to be any real prosperity and contentment among the masses of the people, I think there will have to be, in the near future, industrial peace. In other words, some kind of cooperation between capital and labor by the application of co-partnership or by some other means, and increased production of goods and commodities, and that the present excess profiteering will have to be checked. Otherwise, how can there be any prospect of prices falling to a reasonable level? Though there is no doubt that the primary cause of high prices is the scarcity of goods and commodities due to the stoppage of scaling down of production by the adverse situation prevailing in the country. But I am sure there is no justification for the huge profits which have been and are being made upon many necessaries of life. It appears that if there is a shortage, steps are taken by the holders of the stocks whenever there is an opportunity of doing so. These stockists and wholesale dealers form a ring or work together in order to be able to raise the prices of the supplies in their hands, thus increasing their profits to an unwarranted extent. In this way, instead of fair share of the burden being borne by those who are able to bear it, consumers have been made to pay more than their share out of their small earnings. Then again, retailers are frequently making their customers pay more from their pockets by charging exorbitant prices. As this lobby is very strong, I know there is great difficulty for the authorities in dealing with this matter. At any rate, the curbs imposed on them remain ineffective against this evil of excess profiteering. Some cases in which there is hardship arise from the excess taxation levied upon small fixed incomes, renders it difficult for the people concerned to avoid living above their means of earning. The government, instead of easing the burdens of poor people, sitting idle upon the expert panel's report on taxation reforms. Then there are other questions presenting financial difficulties. For instance, the problem of housing for the poor. This matter is very serious in view of the necessity for large-scale housing infrastructure for the people below poverty line and the heavy expenditure involved in housing schemes. As far as I can see, a portion of the cost will have to be provided out of either the taxes or by contributions by the benefactors. In other words, the general public will have to contribute their share. I hope, my dear friend, that you will be present at the meeting yourself and that you will endeavor to get others to be present also in order that it may be a success. The subjects that will be discussed certainly merit the earnest thought of all those concerned participants. Yours truly. Stop.